Have you heard about the boogeyman? Michael Myers has been a Halloween icon since 1978 when the original Halloween movie came out. When Michael was only 6 years old, he unalived his older sister for no good reason. He was then put in a psych ward where Dr. Loomis himself said that he was purely and simply evil. He would escape 15 years later and terrify his hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois, especially his arch nemesis Laurie Strode. He would try to end her life all Halloween night, but Laurie would fight back. Unfortunately for everyone, Michael was almost supernatural. He could not be hurt. He was hit and beat and felt no pain. But even scarier, he had no emotion. Dr. Loomis was able to hit him in the chest with a few rounds and he fell out of the top story window. But even then, he was able to get away.
There's some crazy clown story, some real life clown killer story with a crazy plot twist, right? This woman had 2 kids. I think she was married to some guy, but I think he passed away, right? So she remarried to another guy. I think his name was Michael Warren. So they had their family all set up, and a couple years go on, and they start having fights, like petty arguments.
Yeah.
Right? Marlene even told her mom, she was like, if anything happens to me, that my husband is the one you're gonna have to blame because he's been like trying to harass me, he's trying to assault me, trying to everything, right?
So it's leading up.
Yeah. There was one night where Marlene was just there with one of her sons, right? And she hears a knock on the door. So she goes out and she sees, I think, a white Chrysler parked in front of their house.
Yeah.
She's like, I've never seen this car before. And she opens the door after looking through the window. Fam, there's a clown in her house with a balloon and flowers. So the clown doesn't say anything. She gives Marlene the balloon. She gives Marlene the flowers. Takes out revolver.
If you're rich, you can do whatever you want. Like post bail after allegedly murdering 4 young women. This is 22-year-old Fraser Boehm of Malibu. On October 17th, he drove his 2016 red BMW to pick up tacos. On the way back, he claimed he was involved in a road rage incident, and that a car began chasing him and trying to run him off the road. Investigators have said that there is no evidence of this. Fraser is driving westbound on the PCH where the speed limit is 45 miles per hour, which is apparently about 3 miles away from where the road rage incident occurred. Prosecutors allege that Fraser hit speeds up to 104 miles per hour when he suddenly lost control of the vehicle on Dead Man's Curve and slammed into at least 3 vehicles parked on the side of the road shortly before 9 p.m. 4 Pepperdine students that were standing/walking in between these vehicles were instantly killed. 21-year-olds Asha Weir, Deslyn Williams, Peyton Stewart, and Neve Ralston. All 4 girls were seniors and sorority sisters at Pepperdine. Some witnesses claimed that Fraser immediately tried to flee the scene, and that he ultimately had to be tackled by Sigma Chi fraternity members who watched this fatal collision. Fraser was arrested and initially charged with vehicular manslaughter with gross negligence, but authorities released him the following day so that they could investigate further. Fraser was rearrested on Tuesday and charged with 4 counts of murder and 4 counts of gross vehicular manslaughter. The following day, he pleaded not guilty and his bond was set at $8 million. The judge reduced that bail to $4 million. This past Friday, Fraser was able to post that bail, which would be around $400,000 cash, and he's now free until the conclusion of his trial. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for December 15th.
The Worst Ways That People Have Died, Part 1. In 2009, spelunker John Jones was caving with some friends and family in the Nutty Putty Cave in Utah. About an hour into the expedition, John decided to find the route known as the Birth Canal, a notoriously narrow passage that spelunkers must crawl through carefully if they dare. After finding what he thought was the Birth Canal, he crawled in head first and started inching his way forward. But John would soon realize that this wasn't the birth canal, since it was clearly way tighter than anything safe to crawl through. The problem was, by this point, he didn't even have enough space to wiggle back out the way he came. So his only option was to continue pushing forward. 4 hours later, John's brother had located him and returned with men and supplies to help get him out. But over the next 27 hours, rescuers desperately failed to pull John out of the crevice. And at some point, he likely died from cardiac arrest due to being unable to breathe. John's body was never retrieved, and the cave has since been sealed off forever.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you an extraordinary transmission, a chilling revelation from the heart of the Martian wilderness. Our intrepid Mars rover, on its unyielding quest to decipher the mysteries of the Red Planet, has uncovered an enigma that defies our most profound comprehension. On Sol 2685, as the cameras rolled, the rover's lenses captured an image that has left even our most seasoned scientists deeply unnerved. It was a disconcerting rock formation, etched with symbols bearing a striking resemblance to ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. These otherworldly glyphs, etched into the Martian stone, stand as an inscrutable message accompanied by eerie, unearthly whispers. The translation, though obscure, conveys a foreboding message: caution, inhabitants of the third planet from the sun. The abyss stirs. Pay heed to the signs and be vigilant. Our fate may soon be yours. The abyss refers to a colossal chasm within the Martian topography, a riddle that even our most brilliant minds have failed to decipher. Could it be that Mars itself is attempting to communicate with us? In these times of uncertainty, NASA and numerous other space agencies have confirmed a series of disquieting developments. Multiple unidentifiable objects are steadily approaching Earth, exhibiting controlled speeds and forming a perplexing pattern that eludes natural explanation. Their arrival is imminent, in less than 24 hours, as humanity braces itself for the unknown.
You know the Mars theory?
That there's aliens on Mars?
Nah, there's a theory that Mars was the original planet that humans were from.
Okay.
Then something happened that we all had to fly to another planet and live on. There used to be like civilization that lived on Mars. Now bag this. On Mars, there's an element on the periodic table called xenon. Xenon on Earth is only found, this is crazy, is only found after a nuclear explosion.
No.
Oh shit, that's not even the sleep mode button.
I said no. What the hell?
And it goes hand in hand now. What if on Mars there was a nuclear warfare, destroyed the whole planet, but people were able to escape just in time, landed on Earth, and they had to restart from nothing.
So we are the aliens.
We're the aliens.
What the hell?
It's real shit. Like, this element's called xenon. It's prominent after nuclear explosion.
Breaking news, a woman missing since June has been found deceased in a storm drain and her son was arrested. The crime took place on June 18th, and that is when her son discarded of her body in a nearby storm drain. Shortly after, she was reported missing. They said the motive behind the crime was because the mother had contacted her son in regard to children's welfare. In the official court documents, they said, quote, horrendous things were done to his mother. It wasn't until October 25th when authorities executed a search warrant at the victim's last known address that they were then able to make progress in the case. During the search, 2 persons of interest were taken into custody, her son and his friend. The friend ended up just being someone in the home at the time the search warrant was executed and was later released. He has been charged with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and concealing a death. He has since pled not guilty, arguing that he had a difficult upbringing. A judge has set his bond for $10 million. His next 2 court appearances are November 8th and 15th. Keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Not good for anyone, but if you live in America, keep on scrolling. Trust me. This beautiful lake right here looks nice and peaceful, doesn't it? No. It's actually home to one of, if not the most destructive volcano on the entire Earth. This is the Lake Toba supervolcano. And if you don't know what a supervolcano is, it's basically a million times more destructive than a normal one is, but they barely ever erupt. This one right here is the Yellowstone one, and if this erupted, it would block out the sun for over a year because of the amount of ash it would produce, and would wipe out a few states in North America. But this Lake Toba supervolcano, apparently there is a lot of activity there at the moment, in terms of under the ground and heat. Basically, this volcano is extremely overdue for an eruption as well. It hasn't erupted for a long time. So scientists are monitoring it extremely carefully, but it is heating up and getting more and more active by the day. It's actually the world's largest caldera, so if this erupted, I don't know what would happen. What is going on in the world at the moment? There is not one place where something normal is happening. It's just nuts. But anyway, hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated.
Bin Laden's son is still alive. The U.S. reported him being killed in 2019, so Hamza bin Laden, the heir to Osama bin Laden, is alive in Afghanistan. But he doesn't want to be the leader of Al-Qaeda, so it's unclear what role he's playing. Al-Qaeda hasn't actually made clear this is our emir, which is interesting.
So hold on, we reported bin Laden's son was killed in 2019. When did we or you find out that he was still alive?
Last September, his brother came to Afghanistan to visit him.
How do you know that?
Because his brother came to Afghanistan to visit him.
Gotcha. All right. I'll stop asking questions. How many countries are Al-Qaeda operating in?
Oh gosh. In most countries, they at least have clandestine officers. Al-Qaeda is so entrenched in places, they have people working like visa lines at embassies in Europe, for example. I mean, think about it. How many years they've been in operation? There are plenty of people behind Al-Qaeda that don't shoot guns. They just get ignored. How many people involved in the finances? They're pretty global.
Do you think they're bigger than cartel?
It would depend. If they bring in as much money, that's kind of where you get tough. But I think in bodies, they're bigger than a cartel. They have so much more reach in a cartel. Cartels are like regional. They might have an international tie. Al-Qaeda can kind of go anywhere and they have a power broker to help them do something.
The dark history of Halloween. Halloween's origins can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. According to Celtic belief, on the night of October 31st, the barrier between the living and the dead blurred, allowing evil spirits and entities to roam freely. To shield themselves from the spirits, they lit bonfires, offered sacrifices, and wore terrifying costumes. Sometimes their costumes were even made of severed animal heads and skins. It was believed doing so would confuse the spirits, especially if they were looking for a specific person to enact some haunting or revenge. A dark chapter in Halloween's history is the witch trials that plagued Europe and colonial America during the 16th and 17th centuries. Accusations of witchcraft often led to trials, torture, and executions of primarily women believed to be witches. The concept of trick-or-treating also has a grim history. In Scotland and Ireland, children dressed in costumes, visited homes, and performed tricks or songs for food or coins. The trick could signify mischief or even acts of vandalism. Halloween's association with darkness is intertwined with memento mori, Latin for remember, you will die. In ancient Celtic and later medieval times, Halloween was thought to be a time when the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead was the thinnest. This led to various divination practices for foretelling the future or communicating with the deceased. One such practice was bobbing for apples, where people attempted to bite or catch apples floating in the water without using their hands. They believed this could reveal insights into their future. Another tradition involved mirrors and candlelight. People would sit in a dark room with a candle in front of a mirror, searching for glimpses of spirits from the other side. Another legend of Halloween is that of the Wild Hunt, a mythological event in European folklore where supernatural huntsmen would ride across the night sky. The huntsmen were often led by the devil. The Wild Hunt symbolized death and chaos.
War flows through my veins. I pull the strings of the world's greatest superpower. The public sees me as a doddering puppet, but it's all an act. My seeming frailty cloaks my iron will. Few know my true identity, Ars, ancient Greek god of war. I retreated to the human realm, hiding while feeding off violence and chaos, the source of my power. From the shadows I need not wage war myself. With subtle maneuvers I ignite fuses of hatred worldwide. My shrewd provocations trigger endless conflicts, perfect for replenishing my strength. Human lives mean nothing to me, mere ants to be crushed underfoot. I am eternal, humans are already dust. When one puppet decays I take another, and resume my campaign of pandemonium. As long as I lurk among humans, peace will never prevail. I am plague incarnate. Disease follows in my wake. Fracturing alliances, severing friendships, turning brother against brother, this is my purpose. My machinations drove humans to develop horrific weapons to use on each other. I feed on human self-annihilation. If you think you know my true name, comment below. And if you want to uncover more hidden truths, please follow my account.
The difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius is not a common thing that is taught.
But we are one of three countries. Us, Liberia, and then, what was the other one?
Myanmar.
Myanmar. It's a country by
We
India.
don't care.
If it's cold, it's cold. If it's hot, it's hot. Hey, this is America, baby.
I talk how I want.
You stick your finger in the pool and you go, burr. It's cold. I don't care about no Fahrenheit, Celsius.
You go outside, you get skin cancer, it's too hot.
That's one way to say it. Just say sunburnt.
Oh, yeah, that too. I was just thinking long term.
Oh, right.
Who are these characters we're doing?
I don't know.
Is it funny seeing Voldemort doing the southern accent?
Yeah, it is kind of fun.
All right, that's cool.
I expecto Patronum.
Expecto Patronum, dude. Harry Potter, the boy who lived, come to die. All right, let's go, man.
How dare you stay there where he stood?
All right.
He was their friend, man.
He was their friend.
You gotta do it in the country accent.
Oh, I can't.
Try
You
it.
can.
I won't.
You have to.
I wish I didn't. I won't.
Shania Twain, here we go.
She's actually from Canada.
Oh, she is. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Celsius.
Celsius.
Ugh.
Ruined it for me.
Morbid Facts, Part 139. Owen Wilson was originally casted to play Tug Speedman's agent in Tropic Thunder, but he had to be replaced by Matthew McConaughey after attempting to take his own life in 2007. This is what a rabies patient looks like when they've already developed symptoms. Rabies causes hydrophobia, where attempting to drink or even just seeing water causes intense clenching throat spasms. This is exactly why rabid animals are often seen foaming at the mouth. Sadly, once a patient reaches this point, there's a 99.9% chance that they will die. Due to the skin's elasticity, it would take 3 full rotations to completely remove the human head. Florida puppeteer Ronald Brown was the host of a kids' TV show in the 1980s called Joy Junction on the Christian Network. But he was later found to be a vicious child predator who owned tons of CP and often fantasized in online chat rooms about kidnapping, abusing, murdering, and cannibalizing children. He was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison in 2012.
Breaking news, a woman's home was accidentally demolished while she was on vacation. The homeowner stated she was out of town at the time but was alerted by a neighbor. The neighbor called to ask her if she had hired a company to tear down her vacant home. That's when the neighbor replied with, quote, "Well, there's someone over here who just demolished the whole house and tore it all down." The neighbor then went over to question the company, where they replied with, quote, "Shut up and mind your own business." The homeowner then called a family member to pay a visit over to the home, and that is when they asked the company to produce a permit. When the site supervisor checked the permit, that is when they realized they were at the wrong address. The company then packed up and left the home, also leaving it in ruins. The homeowner said though the home has been vacant for well over 15 years, it has been well maintained inside and out, and all taxes are caught up on. The homeowner also stated the company responsible for the mishap has yet to contact her. She has since filed a police report and retained an attorney. When the news reached out to the company, they said they are working to resolve the matter. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
This is one of the worst execution methods humanity has ever seen. The ancient Roman method of poena cullae, translated as penalty of the sack, involved placing the condemned inside a large leather sack. But the horror doesn't end there. Along with the human victim, the sack was filled with a viper, a dog, a rooster, and a monkey, all living creatures known for their aggressive behavior when confined. Once sealed, the sack was thrown into a body of water, usually a river or the sea, leaving the victim to the mercy of the frantic animals within. As the sack sank, the oxygen supply diminished rapidly, causing the animals to panic and attack anything in their vicinity, including the unfortunate individual. The combined terror of drowning, darkness, and being mauled by the terrified creatures made poena cullae a fate worse than death. This form of capital punishment was reserved for those deemed guilty of parricide, the act of killing one's parents or close relatives. The Romans believed that such a heinous crime required an equally heinous punishment, and poena cullae served as a testament to that belief.
You know how Elvis Presley died in like 1977?
Yeah.
There's facts like he's still alive.
Elvis?
Yeah, Elvis. So there's a guy in a mental, like deadass, a mental institute named Jesse something, right?
Yeah.
He's like claiming, he kind of looks like Elvis Presley. You can look up, I'll put the pictures up on the screen. But he kind of looks like Elvis Presley, right? And he was claiming that, oh, I am Elvis Presley. I am Elvis Presley.
Yeah, he said that?
Yeah, he said that. And obviously no one's gonna believe him.
Oh, that's why he's in the mental institute?
Yeah, that's why, cause like no one would believe him cause he's in that like institute.
Oh,
so he's like, no, like trust me, I am.
Yeah.
So a doctor ran a DNA test on him. Fam, the DNA matched Elvis,
No.
his mom, and his dad.
So that's him. What the
We don't know yet, I guess.
So why isn't it in the news and shit?
I don't know. I guess they're censoring it.
Yo, what the hell?
Yeah.
So you're telling me they faked Elvis's death and just put him in a mental hospital?
I guess. Is this another story where it's like, oh, a big celebrity didn't want the spotlight no more and he just wanted to chill?
Maybe not. I think it's a different theory.
What?
So you're telling me this, and I came up with a theory in my head.
Okay.
What if...
Breaking news, authorities have now revealed how crime scene photos from the Delphi case were leaked. All of this new information was provided by a 240-page document filing. Within the 240 pages are email exchanges between the judge and the Carroll County prosecutor. In addition, they also include Richard Allen's original defense team. On October 10th, Richard Allen's defense team notified the judge and the prosecutor of the leak. He stated one of his previous employees had gone into his office sometime in August and taken pictures of sensitive crime scene evidence. He then forwarded this information to a fisherman. The fisherman then forwarded the documents to content creators. In an additional email just before 4 a.m. on October 12th, the Carroll County prosecutor informs the judge and his defense team that Indiana State Police and investigators went to the fisherman's home and obtained information about the evidence leak. He refused to answer any of the investigators' questions and wanted an attorney. Not long after the encounter, he took his own life. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
I mean, we're funding them again now, right?
I think we send like $40 million a week.
$40 million a week goes
so.
to Taliban.
Yes.
Who are taking our allies, lining them up like dogs,
Yep.
and shooting them in the back of the head.
Ugh.
And we're funding that.
And that's kind of what you hope they do. I mean, I've got videos that are very, very painful deaths.
What kind of deaths?
Torture deaths, some really bad beheading deaths of our allies, you know.
These are all the guys we used to work with over there.
Yeah, a lot of the people who worked with them get the video sent to them during or after to taunt. They were taunting when the airport was still open. Remember, the U.S. military, they were there, but they couldn't respond in any way to the situation going on. So to taunt them, the Taliban would grab a woman and shoot her in the head. They would burn a child alive in front of the military because they knew they couldn't act.
Lil Tay is definitely in the Illuminati.
Did you play their song? You listened to it?
Yeah.
Did you hear that bar?
What bar?
What? How
What
did
bar?
you not hear this bar?
What was it?
What? This is the bar that like everyone's talking about.
What'd she say?
So apparently in one of her ad libs, you can hear her say, "We got something," and then in the ad lib it's like Illuminati.
No.
Yeah, listen. It is so clear. I don't know. You ready?
Oh shit! What the fuck? Nah.
And mans are saying it's Illuminate? No, fam. It was. You want to hear it again?
Play it one more time.
Yeah.
No.
Illuminati? Like,
no,
come on,
that's
bro.
crazy.
Like, come on, bro. Be for real.
If the Illuminati really did make that shit,
Yeah.
they're making some trash music now. Nah, like they downgraded. They went from Jay-Z to Lil Tay.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird. Don't forget to like and follow and stay weird.